What's up, everybody? Tim Chernikoff here, hailing at you from the Big Apple. Hailing at you. I'm looking for help in funding the creation of my next project. And this project is going to be not just an album, but an entire launch of an education platform. It's been a few years since I've released my first album, and it's been a pretty crazy, difficult, adventurous, agonizing, not boring type of time. The last few years in the cost of living crisis around our world and in America, I had a financially tough situation, and I had to find some work that was not music because I needed to be able to support my music making. Basically, through searching YouTube and any other place, I ended up finding out that I could be a delivery driver in New York with just a bike. So I launched off on my bike and I went around delivering food to people 7 days a week, almost every day of the year. And this was definitely an adventure. Good experiences, bad experiences, crazy people, wonderful people, terrible people, everybody in between. And it gave me a lot of musical experience because I listen to music when I'm on my bike. I process things through music. I heard a lot of new music, and I just continued to listen to stuff over and over again. And I put a lot of new music in my head. Recently, I was deactivated by the company I was driving for mostly, which was Uber. And nowadays, once you're out, you're out. So I'm sitting ducks, and I found some emergency work to do, but I feel like I'm at a crossroads. I could either try and find a full-time job again, or I can just push back into music. Everything that I've been trying to do, building an educational program, showing people my approach to music, and doing so by creating an album and documenting it. And that's what I want to be doing here. And this next project, I can't say exactly what instruments I want to use. I have an idea. And I think that the musical part of my personality is going to be even more potent for this album. It could be a pretty exciting project. And the way this gets even more interesting is that a big feature of it will be that I document everything I do. All these people on YouTube talk about how you can make $100,000 in 60 days. You could, do all sorts of crazy stuff. But now I want to actually do that and show people that I did it, and they can follow along every day and do it themselves if they want. And then that will culminate in the creation of an actual platform where people can learn my approach. So I want to share what I need in order for this to happen. Since I'm challenging myself to be writing an album for 2 months and then just fully realizing the platforms off of that the next month after that, this is sort of a 3-month undertaking to get me to the end of the year with this and to really be launched by then. In order for this to be viable, be able to work on it at least 8 hours a day, I would need about $5,000 to $6,000, ideally about $2,000 per month, which would just push out of the way any obligations past a morning shift that I've found. The main idea is that I'll be back into music by the time the funding dries. And to make it even cooler, actually, I want to involve anybody who is interested in contributing in the process and actually to make the educational part even more interesting. And of course, any level of contribution is greatly appreciated. You'd be invited to all the live streams and all of the events that come up as a result of this and while I'm documenting it. And at the levels of $15 or $23, you would get the digital copy or the physical copy. And I'm going to throw in my old album if you get the physical copy. So you get 2 albums. I'll also add in a copy of my sheet music once you get to 50, and that will be the music from the album. Be cool, especially for musicians to check it out musically or anyone else to have it. And then for the higher levels of contribution, there's a lot of involvement in the actual content. At $100 and above, you can ask me anything about making music, and I will address it as part of a Ask Me Anything type of series. So you'll directly influence the content that way. At $200 and above, you could make a direct musical suggestion. You can play me something and I'll turn that into a tune. At $500 and above, I'll make a whole video out of your song request. You give me a song request and I will work it into a sort of a how-to type of video. The highest level I have here is at 1,000 and above, and that's going to be something really special, that you could do. And it could be anything. I mean, you could come in and come to the studio when we record the project, and depending on whether or not you have some sort of music yourself, we could do like a collaboration on YouTube, or you can prompt me to do an entire series of something you want to learn. I'll create that for you. And you could actually request a song for us to record in the studio. So there's a lot of these options. There's a few slots for this, and I think each one we would want to make different. So, and yeah, as long as it's not crazy, like if you want me to dress up like Lady Gaga, like this is about as flashy as I get right here. So maybe you'd really have to twist my arm. You could opt out of any of these if you just like to see me succeed, because this is about like turning this situation I'm in, just going a complete course correction and just coming back into music full swing. And that's what I really want to do. And without some sort of funding, it's going to take more years, or I'm going to have to dismantle, move out, do something different. And so this will breathe life back into my music, and I would be incredibly grateful. So I thank you for your consideration, and I hope to see you soon.